I am your new chairman. My name is Tom Harrison, and I will start with our new agenda for tonight with our invocation. If everybody will bow your head. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with grateful hearts, seeking your guidance and wisdom as we gather for this meeting. We ask for your presence to be among us, to lead our thoughts, words, and actions. Grant us clarity and understanding so that we may take decisions that honor you and benefit all those involved. In your holy name we pray. Amen. If we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, determination of a quorum. We do have a quorum tonight. Call your name, if you will say here, I, or whatever you want to acknowledge. Leslie Lambert.
Here.
Tamika White.
Here.
I am here. Al Ford.
Here.
Ernestine Goolsby.
Here.
And our former chairman, Steve Weinstein, is on vacation. So we have a quorum tonight. Okay, I would seek a motion for the approval of our agenda with one correction. We are going to swap the City of Conyers and the Rockdale County. Rockdale County would like to go first tonight. If somebody will make that motion, I'd appreciate it.
Make a motion to approve the agenda with one change, that Rockdale County go first tonight.
I second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. An approval of the minutes. I think everybody, before you left home tonight, may have received a revised set of minutes from the May 9th meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes from the May 9th meeting. Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the May 9th meeting notes.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, minutes are approved. And if somebody will go with the rules and procedures for the public hearings.
Each speaker must sign their name to the appropriate zoning case sheet, fill out a public comment card to register their intent to speak prior to the start of this meeting. Each item of business shall be handled in the order. Let me just make it louder.
Somebody want to turn off the water?
Does sound
Each speaker must sign their name to the appropriate zoning case sheet and fill out a public comment card to register their intent to speak prior to the start of this meeting. Each item of business shall be handled in the order that it appears on the agenda, unless upon motion of the Planning Commission the order is changed. A member of the city or county planning staff will present each item to the Conyers-Rockdale Planning Commission and will further provide a recommendation upon each item of business. The zoning applicant or the agent will state their name and address at the podium and will have 10 minutes in which to make his or her presentation. Any portion of their 10 minutes may be reserved for rebuttal following the opposition to the application. After the applicant's presentation, all registered speakers who wish to speak in favor of the application will then be heard. Prior to speaking upon the item, each registered speaker will state their name and address at the podium. They will also be limited to a total of 10 minutes. Once the applicant has made his or her presentation and the speakers in favor of the application have been heard, The secretary will then call upon the registered speakers in opposition to the application. The opposition shall likewise be limited to a total of 10 minutes. Once the public hearing portion is closed, no other speakers will be heard. As a reminder, speakers are to address the Planning Commission, not the applicant or the audience, and are expected to conduct themselves in an appropriate manner. The use of abusive or profane language shall not be allowed. No debate or argument between speakers shall be permitted. After all public comments have been heard, the Planning Commission may elect to hold general discussion. The Planning Commission will vote upon a recommendation that will continue forward to the City of Conyers City Council or the Rockdale County Board of Commissioners public hearings.
Right, with the reversal of the items this evening, we're going forward with Rockdale County tonight first. Item R1, REZ 2024-11, with the purpose to rezone 1.327 acres from C-1 Local Commercial District to C2 General Commercial District to allow an express car wash at location southeast on Parker Road. And we'll let that go forward to Assistant Director Wheeler.
Good evening, Planning Commissioners. I hope you're doing well this evening. Again, thank you for accommodating our request this evening. As the chairman just spoke, this item before you is RZ-24-11. The applicant is Mr. Danny K. Herman. Subject property is Southeast Parker Road. The applicant has an application before you this evening to rezone the 1.3 acres from local commercial to C2 general commercial for the operation and development of a car wash. The subject property has frontage along Southeast Parker Road, has abutting a commercial property, and the actual commercial property is located in the city limits of Conyers. You have a better location or better understanding from this next photo. Again, as you can see that the current zoning of this property is C1. Everything around the property is either zoned a commercial or institutional or a low density residential use. However, the properties abutting this property are a commercial to the north and to the south and to the east of the subject property, or I specifically say C2. The future land use for the subject property, again, is commercial as well as the immediate surrounding areas as well abutting the subject property. Properties located to the east of the subject property is office institutional, and then to the southern part and to the northern portion of the property is general commercial as well. The project summary before you again this evening is the applicant is looking to develop a car wash. However, it is a little bit different this evening as the applicant is intending, if approval of his request, is going to subdivide the property to the north and to divide it into two tracts. The tract that he specifically wants to be zone C2 is tract 1. That is where the car wash will be located. The tract 2 located to the north will stay C1 for a retail commercial space. Again, as the applicant is stating that, again, only if the application is approved for rezoning to C2 will he be able to develop the entire parcel. Again, his intention is to subdivide the parcel after the approval of the zoning to pretty much develop the entire lot. A few things that, again, of note for this property. There won't be any transitional buffer between C1 and C2 since they're very similar zoning classifications. There will be a proposed detention pond located on the property, and that will be located on tract 2 parcel located to the north. There will be, of course, parking spaces provided for the retail and for the car wash as well. Staff, we do not currently have an overall size for the retail space and the in the car wash. However, I'm sure the applicant could probably be able to give you a better idea how large the car wash would be. With all our applications, staff has provided technical analysis as well as gotten other department review comments from them as well regarding this application. Staff does recommend approval with 17 conditions. And we want to point out one of the conditions that we make a note, condition number 4. Should that rezoning application be approved, a subdivision application must be submitted to the Department of Planning and Development to separate tract 1 to be rezoned to C2 and tract 2 to remain C1. The applicant is here if you have any questions. Thank you.
Yeah, come on up. State your name.
I'm Chad Herman, 4983 Rabbit Farm Road, Loganville, Georgia. And I'm here representing Herman Properties.
Okay, anything you've got to say in particular regarding the project?
No, it just, we want to get the change in rezoning from C1 to C2 to allow the tunnel style express car wash. So that's our intention with that portion of the property, the track 2, what will be track 2 after we subdivide.
Okay, the only question I've got is in regard to the right-of-way. Why is that a strange right-of-way off of Parker Road? That might have been a question for Mr. Wheeler.
So
It just looks
it's-
like it's wider than normal.
it's in somewhat of a curve, a slight curve, but it already has like a decel lane already there.
All right, so that's just part of the deceleration lane. Okay.
Yes, and then there is, so what you may be seeing is we'll be applying for a variance for a small portion, like 125 square feet of the front buffer, just to allow for a larger turning radius for larger vehicles as they get to the vacuum. So that's what you're seeing. There's kind of like a dotted, or not a dotted, but a slash line along that front buffer.
Well, it refers to track 3 right-of-way dedication, and that's just confused me a little bit. Is that part of the decel lane you're referring to?
It's just part of the lane from the actual tunnel to the vacuums will encroach on that landscape buffer. So we were going to ask for a variance for that, and then also ask to have a variance to reduce it from the side buffer from 25 to 10 feet on the Lowe's side. So we're abutting Lowe's there. And we'd put an evergreen landscape buffer to make up for the loss of space there. So that's along the right side of the track there.
Okay, all right. That's the only thing I really had in question.
Well, you only have cars. Is it cars? Yeah. Is it a truck wash?
Was the applicant be able to present his topic before we went into questioning real quick?
Well, we asked him what he had to present, and
Oh, okay. Because I see a PowerPoint presentation up front. That's the reason why I was asking, sir, because he has a PowerPoint. And
Okay,
I
well,
would
that's-
for him to
oh,
be
did
able
you
to
want
do
to
that.
present your PowerPoint too?
I can, to be honest, it was a lot of pretty similar to what you presented. So, yeah, it was, as I was watching you present it, it was more or less along the same
Stole your
lines.
thunder,
So,
did he?
Yeah. So, yeah, you did a great job of presenting it, because
Okay.
it's
So
basically what
there-
I had in the PowerPoint.
So there are no key points up here, maybe on one slide that we might need to know or hear? That's all.
I'll run through it if you don't mind. I was going to show you the elevations of what it should look like and that kind of thing as well. But he went over pretty much more or less everything else I had. So,
Okay.
so yeah, you see the site plan here. So you see that strip of evergreen along the right side. That's what I was talking about with the variance. And then we plan to sell off the track number 2 for retail use. But we plan to be the operators of the car wash and develop the whole site. So my father was a developer for years before the economic crash way back in the day, and so he has lots of experience with development. So he'll be heading up that project. And this is the elevations. So you have an idea. So we were going for more like a residential look. So the shopping center across the street, where like Amici's and a few other restaurants are, had somewhat of a similar look to this, with kind of some gables and stone. And then the rest of the elevation you see there, that's hardy plank. So we plan to use good materials. And then this is just saying exactly what he showed you, that we plan to subdivide the track, and just under half of it would be changed to the C2.
So you're going to sell off the retail portion of it?
Yes, sir. We'll develop the whole track and have it pad ready, and then sell off that
So
portion.
you'll have no guidance as to what will go in there once you sell it?
Yeah, we plan to sell it for retail use or restaurants. So that's we kind of are working with an agent who's looking for amongst his clients to fill that space.
Will you do the build out based upon what they want, or you just going to leave it kind of blank and let them do the build out?
Very likely, we'll develop the site, and then if they would like us to build it, then we'll proceed with the construction. If they want to bring in their own construction,
Okay.
that'd be an option as well.
So you're doing the retail build out and you're leasing the space, or you're selling all?
No, so we may sell that second track completely, but we'll develop the site all at once. So it'll be developed, ready to go for whoever wants to take over that track. And then this is just showing that all the adjacent properties are commercial use or office institution use. So there's nothing really residential around. There's a single family residential structure on the one, but is zone C1. And then this is just showing the different setbacks and that kind of thing. So it shows the proposed 10-foot wide side setbacks that I was talking about with the variance. Currently, it calls for 25 feet on all sides for a car wash. So.
Are you have a brand, or you have some kind of franchise that for the car wash?
We have an idea of a name that we want to use.
So it's going to be your own independent. You're not going to franchise it.
No, it won't be a franchise. We plan to build several car washes in the next couple years. So that's our intention is
Based
to,
upon what you put here?
exactly.
So this is your first.
This is our first. But my father has done lots of shopping centers, neighborhoods, all kinds of things in the past. So
Somewhere in the paperwork I saw where I think there was a 50% requirement for recycle of the water. This is probably a question for you. Is that a county code to use 50% recycle? Okay.
yes, sir. And pretty much all the systems nowadays, all the modern systems reuse 50% of the water.
Okay.
So we're kind of shopping for vendors. So we recently went to a big conference and kind of getting to know the different vendors available.
This will make see, we just had one open up on the north side compared to the one we've got down there off Miller Road, and so you'll be the third, I guess, of that size.
Yes, sir.
Is there room for
And-
three?
I'm sorry?
Are there room for three competitively?
From the market study we've done, there seems to be room for another one, and we've done counts. So we've gone to our competitors and kind of sat there at different times of the day and gotten counts to see how much traffic they're getting consistently and kind of what their access is. So that's kind of one of our strong suits. Is one of our competitors seems to have an access problem. So they have plenty of business, but we've seen a lot of cars just turn away because they can't get into the site. So we feel like with a little better design, we could maybe mitigate that and get some of their traffic.
It's all about access. Okay.
I'm concerned about the traffic coming up Parker and how it turns into going to Lowe's and stuff, and then there's going to be a short turn, and then it's going to go into the car wash. I'm concerned about the space and how because your driveway is going to come out onto Parker, or is your driveway coming out onto the road that goes?
It's
You're going to have two driveways, two access, one entrance, and it's going to come out entrance, and how you leave and exit going to come out the same way, or?
yes, ma'am. But our entrance is the road that you're seeing there for Lowe's. That's just their truck entrance. So the road
It's
you're
heavily used, though. It's by customers. I use it all the time.
Mhm.
And when I turn off of Parker to go into it, make a right, so then you're going to have people coming. It seems like a little bit congested to me, because right there on that corner,
yeah.
I have concern about that. And I also have concern about how we're approving something, but you don't have it totally developed for track 2. So that's one of my thoughts too.
I'm sorry, I don't understand that last part.
To me, we're approving for track 1.
Hmm.
So that changes track 2, right? But you don't have any vendors or anything set up for track 2.
No, we intend to sell it to whoever wants to go there. So we're not changing the zoning of the other track, because we only need the track 1 to be C2 for the car wash use.
And so the approval is 1.3 acres for that particular track for a car wash.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
remaining 2 acres would go towards the.
Yes, ma'am. So as soon as if we succeed with the rezoning, then we'll go ahead and subdivide the property at that point.
And so the track 2 would only come out onto Parker Road. It won't come out onto. It won't have access to your parking lot to come out on that.
Yes, it will.
It will.
It will. Yeah, if you look on the map there, it has a cross parcel
So y'all utilize
access.
the same exit interest.
Yes, ma'am.
Your parking lot as well as the track 1 and track 2 will use the same.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Continue to the next, I guess. And then, so this is just showing the sewer map to show we have already been in contact with Lowe's, and they're running it through their corporate legal counsel about getting an easement to bore under their road to access the sewer here. So you can see the closest access is the green right there in the corner. So we'd be able to just bore under the road there to access. And they seem agreeable, just running up the chain, basically.
So one matter the other day, so you're already clearing the property, right? Right? You're clearing it. You're not clearing
No,
it.
ma'am. No, we aren't doing anything. So we don't currently own the property. We have it under contract. The owner has given us permission to come and get it rezoned. Upon rezoning, we'll close on the property.
So you're not going under property.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep, just making sure our zoning goes through for our use before we close on the property. And next. Okay. So this is just talking about the adjacent properties and how they're already zoned commercial use. So these are just the staff notes saying that they would recommend going ahead with the zoning because everything around it is also commercial. And then this is just showing the same thing. So we had bought the C2 commercial of the Lowe's, and there's a Napa there as well. So this is just saying that it wouldn't likely adversely change the properties around it because they're already commercial as well. And then the same thing, it's already zoned commercial, but we would have a greater use by making it a car wash rather than what would be allowed by the C1 zoning currently. No adverse effects to public facilities. So we've already checked on water capacity and all that kind of thing, and everything seems in line.
One question I got, at what point would you get your wastewater permit? I know you don't own the property, so I guess as soon as you purchased the property.
Exactly. So we're just waiting on all that. I've been in touch with the stormwater department, but just in kind of gotten an idea of the capacity and everything, just waiting until we close the property
Yeah.
before we pursue that.
Because, right now you just have a verbal, but if you don't have anything etched in stone and they give out a capacity, then you're in trouble.
True.
That's all.
I believe we have a capacity letter saying the current capacity, just whether it's the same.
You don't have a permit.
Yeah, no permit yet. Yeah, exactly.
That's the key, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And just the same thing, just showing that it's already commercial use, and that the staff would recommend it. Going ahead with the zoning. And then these are just showing that we understand everything and the conditions that the staff has approved it upon.
17.
Yes, sir. So there's the other ones after this.
Okay.
Like I said, the only difference, the only change will be applying for the variance. We realize we'll need a variance to reduce the buffers.
And what reduction are you talking about?
Is from 25 to 10 on the side of the Lowe's truck entrance there. But as of now, it's basically just bags of mulch and that kind of thing on the backside of Lowe's there. So we'll put an evergreen. We plan to put an evergreen buffer there. So it's just basically a wall between us and them. And I think that's all I have. Do you have any questions?
Any other questions?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Are anybody here to speak in favor or against? Nobody to speak? Okay, anything else for you, Mr. Wheeler?
Just want to clarify, I misspoke earlier. I had a brain moment. I meant to say, again, as the gentleman pointed out, Lowe's, not Target. So if you're confused about where this location is, it's further up Parker Road, adjacent to Lowe's, not Target. I apologize for that error. So in case anybody is kind of trying to figure out exactly where it's located at. So.
Anything amongst us? Any questions or discussion?
I just think it's a little congested in that area where he's.
Ms. Gillespie, can you use the mic, please?
Sure can. It's discussion between the board. I'm just concerned, not to say that I'm opposed to, but it's congested right there. It's because the infrastructure, you got 2 lanes turning into, you got 2 lanes of traffic coming out, and then you got people coming in and turning.
You have the deceleration lanes that are.
But, because like if you're coming from the West Avenue area, you're gonna make a left turn, you got 2 lanes to turn there. Then you got the other lanes that's coming here. So if I'm trying to get to the car wash, you gotta wait till that traffic flows, or you're just gonna be able to get to the car wash from one way. Because if you come and make a left turn, you gotta make a left turn and make a immediate right to go into the car wash.
Yeah, you only want to drive in one way.
You know me driving, so you're not be able to come to the car wash that way then. I'm just asking, these are
Kind
just
of like
questions.
the other one. The other one, you're technically only supposed to come in
Yeah.
the other to one way.
Just want to do a point of clarification. It is a commercial zone property, so there's going to be traffic concerns regarding the getting into and onto the site anyhow. So just wanted to kind of clarify that even if you choose not to approve the rezoning, it's still a zone of commercial property. So if somebody wants to do a commercial property there still may be, quote unquote, some issues later on down the road when it comes to just the use and the intensity of the use because it's already zoned commercial.
Yeah.
So just wanted to kind of put that out there.
I don't.
Yeah, because I was speaking more so in the terms of conditions. Let's think outside the box of conditions. If it's something, I was thinking.
Yes, ma'am.
I was thinking.
Yes, ma'am. I get. I like I said again. It is like I said. It's already a tricky curve and
Yeah.
onto it. Again, I want to caution about the conditions and so forth because you want to make sure that the conditions are reasonable, a reasonable condition that the applicant can be able to fulfill and so forth. So just like I said again, you have your privilege to make your choices and decisions as you want to see, but I just want to point that out though. So as you said.
I think regardless of what goes in there, is going to have a traffic problem. Whether it's a car wash or gas station or whatever.
So when you make that left turn, just for my own clarification, you make that left turn, I know exactly where, because I come off that side all the time. So when you make that left turn, will there be a decel lane there to get into that car wash? Or will it just be left, right? See what I'm saying, Tom? You
Yeah.
don't. That's, maybe you can answer that question. Because I think that's,
Take a right turn. Basically a right turn.
right, but if you had a lane that allowed for
Ms.
that.
Lambert, please use the mic.
I'm sorry. If you had a lane that allowed for that, That's my question, and I don't,
That's what I was trying to think of, Leslie, and I don't want to overburden the
right. I
the
think
developer
whatever,
either, but I'm just trying to think about.
and I think whatever they do, Chris is correct. I mean, we're going to have an issue, so do we look at that issue at this moment?
Mm-hmm. That's what I was trying to think of.
I think it's gonna be a turning problem regardless what's in there. Oh, no matter how it's rezoned.
I mean, I think initially it would be like, but then people will understand, but, you know, I understand what you're saying for
Because
sure.
you got, because you got people going to come. Because I use it a lot. It's just got people that's going to come try to get to Lowe's. You got people coming out of the car wash. So, from a commercial standpoint, you could say, okay, the exit and the entrance only could come out to Parker Road.
Coming out of the Lowe's to get back on Parker, that's hard.
Then you got, it's just,
To get back on Parker to turn left out of that Lowe's parking lot, that's difficult.
that you want, I kind of pretty, if you got that traffic coming out that,
Oh, I never.
that a commercial site, car wash site, and you got that traffic coming from the truck place where trucks come in and out, it's already difficult to get out there because you got the traffic coming in. Like, and the infrastructure, one thing about Conyers, the infrastructure never changed. You have no new lights or anything to help you control the traffic flow.
I don't see how you could put a light in there. No.
It's nothing to do, but I'm just trying to say, because it's just a thought process.
It's gonna get worse too. Look at it.
So,
All right. Anything else we need to nail on? Okay. Looking for a motion? I'd like to entertain a motion for yea or nay.
You see some stipulations on this?
You got 17 stipulations already.
what page? I saw 11. I thought I saw
Do we
something.
have to motion
Page
in
11.
the variance?
If you want to add an additional,
Well, the variance he's asking.
no,
No. How's he get his variance? You want a buffer variance right at Lowe's?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
do we need to put that in? Where'd he go?
Where's Chris?
The other car wash I think opens from at 7 o'clock. The other car wash down they have here from 8 to 8, and I think Mr. Car Wash open at 7 o'clock. That's what I'm saying. You're missing 1 hour operations, so I'm like, just a
For his
thought.
variance, do we need to add that to the conditions?
For the landscape buffer on the right side,
On the Lowe's side.
on the left side, as well
So do we add that now?
from 25 foot to 10 feet is what will be
Come on, she's changing this. She's changing this one?
No,
No, this is Lowe's up here.
on the Lowe's
So
side.
I'm thinking adding on.
25 foot
I ain't trying to overcome, but I don't know.
I would think
I
we would
just-
have
I
to
mean,
have
it's
that
just
variance
urban.
now, Tom.
But there's nothing you can really do. It's gonna be a situation anywhere you go. There's nowhere you can put a light up. That's controlled the traffic. It's just,
Do we need to add it to the,
That's why I
Add
said
it as a
it's
make it number
condition.
18 for the
Can it come in
25
like
to
saying
10.
to stop the flow? Like you only can come in through Parker, and then you can only come out through
Here.
control some of them.
Make it 18 instead of 17. Changing that.
One way in and out.
Yeah, one way you come in, but then you're gonna have a family that come down and turn around and go into it.
Which side is that physically? I don't want to say the Lowe's side.
the east. I would have to look at the plot to see
Go.
east-west, or on the right side there.
Yes, that's the.
That would be
east, I think.
Yeah, that's-
Is it east?
The variance would also be for that 125-foot reduction in that little area for the turnout lane to the vacuums, where it's showed in. I'm
That's
trying to
the same
think.
variance that you're going for? That's all included?
That's what we would be applying for. So to reduce the side from 25 to 10 feet, and then the little area with the dashed lines
Mm-hmm.
inside the driveway there,
That's-
to reduce that,
Yeah.
and we put additional landscape in there.
So you're reducing or increasing the deceleration lane?
So just reducing the landscape buffer to allow the driveway to be over the landscape buffer on the front side. So do you see the dash line on the driveway as it's going to the vacuum lanes?
Mm-hmm.
You see the dash portion there, how it's inside the dotted line?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the area we'd be asking for a reduction of 125 square feet right there.
Square feet
Of the
or-
of
or
the landscape
linear
buffer.
feet? Square feet or linear?
Square feet. But we would put additional landscaping there to make up for the loss of buffer.
We come out of here, right?
So you can start bagging into.
So they can get to, so like they have 250 can get to the,
Yeah, just basically so another car could get by if they needed to.
so you have the two paths.
Question for you.
Yes, sir.
When you enter, you have to enter on Parker Road. So when you turn into the car wash, how far back do you go to get on the track to go through the wash? Is that all the way to the back?
So it'd be going in from the top side there, going through the tunnel, going downwards on the map you're looking at.
Because I think one of the concerns is traffic backing into Parker Road from the car wash.
Yeah, so that's why we have the entrance gate is all the way on the far side of the property there. That way there's a lot of area for cars to back up there. Because that's basically what we saw with the other car wash, is that it was backing up into the road because
I've been involved firsthand with this. So I know.
because the gate is quite a bit closer to the actual road. So that's why we have it all the way on the far side of the track. That way you'll have plenty of room for cars to back up there if it happens.
And they have an area where you can deceleration, a different lane. You can go into the lot. Mr. Car Wash does, so it allows it a little bit of break and not causing traffic to back up.
For sure.
on
So
Parker.
the two spaces that you see to the right that aren't a part of the vacuum area, that's kind of the idea with those couple spots there, is just to allow someone, if they aren't going right into the car wash, to pull over.
What's the side?
Anything else I can answer for you?
Does that help any?
Thank you.
Mhm.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We clear?
Buffer to the east.
All right.
And then reduce.
We've added 18 as a 25 to 10-foot buffer.
Yeah, but there's also this 125 square foot reduction. This right here is a 125 foot reduction. That would have to be added because it's not in this. Right here, Tom. Look at this. No, just do this. Excuse us.
You should get that pulled out.
So right here. So that's it. This car's in here.
Gotcha.
You got a turn, we have to look to do.
Gotcha. Okay.
Look at that. It was in my packet.
And I'm sorry, I may have misspoke. So if you look on the second track there, the driveway will have an exit. A second exit onto Parker Road.
Right.
Okay.
But the
So I
100
misspoke there, because the track will wrap around, so you're able to come back out that same exit, but there will be an exit for the potential drive-through there. So in the top right corner, or top left corner, you see that.
But you're saying that you're going for a variance for 125 square feet at that main entrance of the
Yes.
right-of-way?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So right beside the decel lane.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
So that's the front right.
okay. All right, so, no problem. Okay, I think I'll take a shot at it.
Go ahead.
All right, I'd like to add another condition, condition number 18, that the applicant shall provide a 10-foot minimum buffer to the east of the property and a maximum reduction of 125 square feet of the right-of-way. What's that, the main driveway to the
That
southwest?
would be a 19.
19?
No,
Yeah.
Yes.
yes.
Okay, 17?
So that's two additions.
This is.
Oh, we're doing this
separately.
separately. Okay, we're doing it separately, okay.
Separately.
Okay. And then the 19th would be to reduce maximum reduction of 125 square feet of the right-of-way at the main entrance. And I don't know if you've designated the name for the entrance, just the main entrance? Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
You clear on that?
Mhm.
Okay. What was the square footage you numbered on that?
125.
5
Maximum 125 square feet.
feet. That's the max, so.
Let's see, that's 18, 19, 20, 8.
All right.
So do the design.
Okay, where are we?
And then add these.
Yeah. Oh,
You
there we
want to
go.
make the motion?
I guess.
I can do it if you want.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to approve the, we're in the wrong one, to rezone 1.327 acres from C1 to C2 to allow an express car wash. That's on parcel 07500103103-1A. And that is approved with the 17 original conditions plus the 2 that we added today.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passed. Okay, we've got item R2, which is a preliminary plat for the enclave at Stonecrest. Item R2 PP 24-0154. I think we're just looking at a vote for that, correct?
That's correct. So it has already been approved by all the reviewers, so we're just looking for you guys' approval. It's right there.
Do I hear a motion to approve preliminary plat 24-0154? Standard procedure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me see the number. I can't put my name on it. I make a motion to approve plat PP 240154, preliminary plat for the enclave at Stonecrest.
Got a motion to approve? Do I hear a second?
A second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, the item's approved. County's done. He bugged out early though, didn't he? All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll do the flip and go to the city. Item C1. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Planning Commission members. All right, so this is for case 8/2024. It's for a special use permit. It is a request for to establish automotive repair, maintenance, automotive repair and maintenance minor facility in the Gateway Village Urban Village zoning district. The request, the address is 1530 Highway 138, parcel 075001012C. The applicant is John Nix. So you've got on the screen just an overview of the parcel. It's 5.73 acres. Currently, it's developed with a 14,000 square foot commercial building, which was previously occupied by SunTrust Bank. Towards the rear of the property, over here is a 6,400 square foot building that is currently used as the data center for Truist Bank. So the property owner is proposing to redevelop the property that would consist of demolishing the existing 14,000 square foot building and constructing 3 commercial buildings. The site will have 3 lease lines for different tenants to go in there. The specific property that we're looking at today is 0.34 acres, which they're intending to establish the minor automotive repair and maintenance facility there. To define what a minor automotive repair facility is any activity that does not require the removal of the engine head, pan, engine, transmission, or differential. Such activities include, but are not limited to, oil changes, brake repair, muffler repair, tire repair, lubrication, emissions testing, and incidental fender or body work, minor painting, and upholstery. So the zoning district is Gateway Village, Urban Village. To give you some background on that district, it's intended to respond to the growing market for mixed-use development and promote pedestrian-oriented development, as well as also creating architectural and design standards that enhance the aesthetics of that district. The intent is to create a sustainable, walkable community and offer a diverse options of goods, services, and residential. So the Gateway Village district has 3 sub-areas. It runs along Georgia Highway 138 and Georgia 20 from Interstate 20, going all the way south to Miller's Chapel Road. The goal of the Gateway Village zoning district is to reduce the number of auto-oriented uses as the corridor was intended to build out for retail and mixed type uses. So within the Gateway Village corridor, we have identified 10 other minor automotive repair facilities from this location, and then going all the way south to Miller's Chapel Road. So here on the screen, and also I provided a larger scale in the packet that I mailed out with the concept plan. This is an overview, and here is a little bit closer up version. So this area here where the star is where the proposed automotive repair facility would be located. In the Gateway Village zoning district, the ordinance has created specific standards for uses. In this case, for automotive repair, any type of, if an automotive repair facility intends to locate within the Gateway Village district, they are required to have the garage bay doors be perpendicular and not front Highway 138 or Georgia 20. So you can see here on the screen that they have positioned the building where those garage bay doors would not be fronting Georgia 20. So here is the applicant did provide some proposed elevations. Again, this is just a proposed. This is not something that is set. There are some glazing requirements that they don't indicate on here, but the applicant is aware so that it will comply with the Gateway Village ordinance. In addition to those standards that I had said whereas the bay doors cannot face Highway 138, there's additional supplemental use standards. Those are there on your screen. All repair and maintenance has to be done inside the building. No outdoor speakers, no outdoor storage, and all automotive repair must cease by 10 p.m. at this point, I think you guys know what a special use permit is, but it's something that is essentially just requires a little bit more information and context for what the applicant is trying to do to make sure that it is compatible with the adjacent the adjacent properties, and can also allow for imposition of conditions for that use to establish there. Oops, sorry. And these are the standards for governing the exercise of zoning power. I'm not going to read all of them. They are in your staff report as well. So staff does recommend approval of the request to establish a automotive repair and maintenance facility in the Gateway Village, Urban Village sub-area at 1530 Highway 138, tax parcel 075001012C, with the following conditions. Only one automotive maintenance and repair facility shall be authorized on this parcel. This condition shall prevent other automotive maintenance and repair facilities from being established should the parcel be subdivided in the future. Condition 2, the building housing the automotive maintenance and repair facility shall contain a flat roof with parapet walls on all elevations. The parapet shall be no less than 12 inches above the tallest mechanical equipment located on the roof. And then the third, with the exception of doors and windows, the entire area of the exterior building walls shall be finished with brick veneer on all elevations from finished grade to the parapet coping. The brick used shall be individual full-size units, and the color selected shall be red, dark brown, and dark gray. These conditions are also in addition to the supplemental use standards and also the specific requirement for the Gateway Village zoning district as well. As by request of the applicant, he did want you guys to see the lease lines for this property. So the one we were talking about is right here. And if you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them. And the applicant is here tonight, so he will also speak.
Well, I had a quick, I guess, a comment. If the Gateway Village Urban District is primarily for the use of sidewalks, making a walkable community, things of that nature, how would this particular development be in line with the intended uses of the district?
Sure. So, I mean, as we all know, Rockdale and Conyers is growing. So there are more automobiles on the road, more need for individuals to take to get oil changes. Also, the property has sat vacant for many, many years. And at this point, we haven't seen any interest in redevelopment. So this would bring 3 new businesses to this parcel. And the way that the parcel is positioned and the way that the developer has created their lease lines, really the type of use that could go here on this 0.34 acres, they really are limited in what they can do there because of, your parking requirements. So a quick oil change facility like the applicant is proposing doesn't really require a whole lot of parking. It's you stay in your car, you get the oil changed, and then you leave.
And I guess, like for instance, so if we have that oil change place, there's one that's shortly down the road. Then we have a Pep Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have another, I think, an oil change next to the Enterprise. It doesn't seem like it adds to the use of that particular district.
Mm-hmm.
I think you said it was a total of 10, right?
There's a total of 10.
And is that a mile?
Say that again?
Is it a mile from?
It's a
Highway
mile and a
22?
half.
A mile and a
Mm-hmm.
half. So we got 10 oil change places
Mhm.
from Georgia Highway 220 to Chapel,
Mm-hmm.
Village Chapel.
Mm-hmm.
Was that including Pep Boys? Because I think they closed down.
So there's a Pet Boys, not the actual store that was over there on North Lake, but there's the one that's over there by Captain D's,
Okay.
grouped in with the other oil change places.
So we got Goodyear, and we have, before you get to Publix, we got Valvoline, I believe it is. I understand the point that no one else has considered development, but if you got 10 existing establishments that do the same thing, is this really development? Can we categorize this as development for Rockdale County?
So I'm going to defer to the applicant to answer that question for you. The great thing about y'all and being the recommending body is you have the ability to make your recommendation for, you know, what you would like to see there. So
Okay.
So you want to sit
Mr.
down?
John Nix can maybe answer your question.
You just seem so nice and polite. I thought I'd ask you.
And the idea of Krispy Kreme never came up, right?
Does it help that one of them may be Raising Cane's? I mean,
Well, you should have said that.
yeah. Do you guys have any questions for me? Okay.
No.
All right.
Anything for her?
You deferred them. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr.
Ted,
Nix.
within how many miles?
A mile and a half.
A mile and a half.
Yes, that's a lot.
And how many EV stations are there within a mile?
None.
Ah.
There was one, I think, at Target.
Just by the Target. There's about- there's
Or you gonna
about
put 'em up
40.
there, right?
Fire in the hole.
Good evening, John Nix on behalf of the applicant. This is Preston Willard with Tuxaway Automotive. They are the company that would operate the facility. This is a perfect slide to start on because I know everybody sitting here knows the building that's on there now, the old SunTrust, Truist, etc. building. That is sitting vacant and has been vacant for a while. The other thing to notice, because of this description that's up there, is the configuration of the property. And obviously, it moves down to a triangle as it approaches I-20 or the intersection of Salem Road. The property was acquired by the current owner a number of years ago. They have been waiting for an opportunity to redevelop the property, take down the existing building, and put something new there. We all know that 138 has its restrictions. When she read the description of this zoning classification, it's not an overlay, I keep saying that. This zoning classification, pedestrian friendly, almost defies logic, right? And that's not saying anything against their ordinance. Their ordinance is wonderful, but we're on 138 and pedestrian traffic on the front of this defies logic. What doesn't defy logic is a redevelopment of the site. It would be wonderful, wouldn't it be wonderful if all across the street from this, that used to be the Kmart, and the sea of parking that's there, that is no longer utilized as a sea of parking, wouldn't it be great if all that could move to the front and be redeveloped and something different other than asphalt would be there? To do what the planning department envisions for 138 in this whole district is not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a slow drive, and they've got pieces of it. I would suggest to you, and I'm saying this for the staff who I have great respect for, that having this redevelopment of this site makes sense for the now, even though it might, at the very tip of it, where the drive-through windows used to be, have a very small oil change facility. Every one of the facilities that y'all are referenced to do not just change oil. None of the facilities you talked about have drive-through, don't get out of your car, have your oil changed, and you drive back out. It's even less than getting out of your car to vacuum it after a car wash. The facility they're proposing, they've gone back to the company that allows the franchise. And before I keep going on that, let me ask him to describe their business and what they do, and then I'll go further on trying to describe the site.
Sure.
Repeat the name again.
Yeah, so I'm Preston Willard. Our company is Tuxaway Automotive Group, and we're a Take 5 oil change franchise.
That would be the sign.
Yes, sir. Take 5 oil change. So a little bit about me and our company. We are the local franchisee for Take 5 oil change. There's 3 franchisees in Atlanta. The eastern part of Atlanta, like all the way to Athens, that's our territory. So Conyers Falls in our territory. We have 11 stores open right now. We have about 100 teammates. We have a rich culture of promoting from within. Most of our managers and district managers all started as hourly technicians. We actually have it's called Pit Tech to President. So for people that are serious and really want to accelerate their life, we have an opportunity to do so. For the Take 5 business that would be there, as described, it's a drive-through oil change. So there's 3 bays. The customer stays in their car the entire time. We usually get customers in and out in about 10 minutes. We don't do any major repairs. We don't do tires. We don't do brakes. We don't do engine diagnostics. We don't do any of that. We can change your air filter and change out your wiper blades if you need them, but our core business and our primary service is just oil change. And we pride ourselves on that. That's what you came in for. You don't get an inspection or anything like that, and you get back to your day. We change your oil, not your schedule. So the building itself, as y'all saw, is not our typical prototype, but we want to be here. We want to be a part of Conyers, and so we built that building actually in Grayson, Georgia already. So our center in Grayson looks exactly like that. So we're familiar with that design. It's been approved by the Take 5 corporate, and we can do that building here. Just one other thing to note about our business too, there's no basements or anything like that, like your old kind of style quick lube. All of our oil is stored above ground in polymer tanks, and everything is plumbed together. So the trench style pit that the technician does and performs the actual oil change on, in the event there was some sort of like catastrophic event, right, the oil starts leaking everywhere. Everything goes back into these trench style pits, so it's a whole self-contained unit. So really it's like the most environmentally friendly oil change center to date. And then we could, call somebody to come and extract it. God willing, that never happens. But I think it's a cool piece about our business, so I wanted to share it with you guys. I'm happy to answer any specific questions about me or Toxway Automotive Group or Take 5 Oil Change in particular.
Obvious question. You said oil changes are 10 minutes. Why Take 5?
Well, it started in the 70s in New Orleans and has slowly grown to the franchise that it is today. There's actually 1,000 Take 5s now across the country.
Why not Take 10?
Well, back then it was 5, but now as cars have gotten a little more complex and skid plates and the types of filters have changed and everything, the bay time has increased a little bit. So certain trucks and things, hey, it might take us 15 or so, but like a Nissan Sentra with no skid plate or something, we can get you in and out in 5 minutes. So.
Does it not concern you that the comment was made that there are 10 similar units that change oil within a mile and a quarter?
It does. I mean,
how do you make a market plan with that kind of statistic?
Yeah, competition is definitely something that we look at. I think the major thing that we think about, anything that is like a full service, brakes like your Pep Boys, or your Goodyears or anything like that, brakes and tires. If you want to get an oil change there, it's at least an hour, right? So although it is automotive, although it is bay doors, and I get for the majority that all seems to be the same, it's definitely not the same. It's not really considered our competition from a business perspective. So there are other quick lubes in close proximity. So we do consider that, but the market study that we've done in terms of just population and traffic count can definitely support our store. And I believe in our company and I believe in our brand, and I really think we can compete. If you look at Take 5 oil changes, just like take the Google reviews as a quick data point. If you Google any of the Take 5 oil changes, there's hundreds of almost 5-star reviews out there, 4.9, 4.7. If you look at other competitors like Jiffy Lube and things like that, they're all in the 3s, and I think that's just a testament to what we do as a brand, and that we don't try to upsell you on a bunch of stuff, right? you come in for the oil change, that's exactly what you get, and people are happy about it.
Do you offer the frequent oil change programs like a lot of the quick lubes do?
We don't have like a loyalty program. We do have we do have a free top off policy. So if you come and get your oil changed within like that 3,000 miles between now and your next oil change, if you need any extra oil, coolant, tire pressure, any of the fluids or anything like that, it's all free.
How many of the quick lubes are in that group of 10? You said there's 10 oil change people within the mile and a quarter. How many are there of the quick lube style?
Really, our most similar competitor would be either Jiffy Lube, but they're more going towards a full service model. They sell tires now. They try to sell brakes and things. I think they're just trying to raise their average ticket. And then a Valvoline. The Valvoline is a pretty similar business model too. Express Oil Change, I know they do quick lube, but they also do full service maintenance and repair as well. So they do tires and things like that. So really just between all of the uses, there would really be kind of two other ones that we would consider similar competition.
Are you going to take up the entire footprint of everything that was being used by the Truist property?
No, definitely not. So
what's going to go on out beyond what y'all using?
Yeah, so I don't control the actual land, but as I know it, it's Raising Cane's and a bank, another bank that's going on the other property. And then we would literally, if you look at the part that's on the screen, the northernmost tract that's almost a triangle, that's really, really small, that would be us. So we're just a very, very small part of a much larger development.
Well, out of curiosity, why did you choose that northernmost parcel? That's even closer to the oil change place to the north.
Well, I didn't have a choice. That was the only one that was available and was within our economics. So, we're a really small building. It's just about 1,400 square feet. We have a small manager's office, employee bathroom, and I mean that's it. There's no cars. The only cars that are there are our teammates' cars. No cars are waiting for parts. No cars are waiting for repairs or anything like that. The only cars are the ones that we're servicing, and then the teammates that are on site, unless they get dropped off.
There are times a day that red light going north backs up way beyond your entrance.
Yes, definitely.
And does that not present a problem for getting into your facility?
It certainly could, but
there's times when it backs up all the way to the post office.
So my hope and what's actually exciting is that there's a lot of interparcel access here too. Even someone who is visiting the new Chick-fil-A there could kind of go around the back and get to us. So if someone sees a long line and realizes their oil light's on, then hey, we can get you taken care of real quick.
Talking about that.
Yeah.
Get chicken and oil.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
The reason I think that this site is not developed is because the owner has had this property for several years and have been looking for a combination that would fit the site. The owner is actually going to retain ownership of the entire tract, and basically is going to be leasing out these tracts for the different users to develop, like the chicken place and the bank. And
so there's another bank going
in between. It's my understanding of the owners here, but they have a bank considering maybe very seriously, and then the chicken place very seriously, and then our facility. And because of what we do and our footprint is so small, there are only 6 parking spaces associated with this, and that's all for their employees because you don't get out of your car, and there's a handicap space. There's a lot of green island around this because of the city's requirements, so there's a lot of plantings around it. And I understand that we might be the key to getting the whole site redeveloped because they've been looking for that last little piece to make it work for them. This is what one of these facilities looks like in other communities.
It'd been nice if that had been in our packet.
Well, but we didn't want it to look like this.
Now,
And the city didn't want it to look like this.
Right.
And what I think you can tell he has a little bit of passion about what he does. So he went to the franchise and said, we can't build the typical building here. We've got to do something different. And the all brick building, you see the signs that are just depicted in what we had as far as our elevations. They're not on a red or a yellow background. They're on the facade of the brick. So the signage is not going to be that bright, can't miss it kind of deal. Everything's going to be mounted to brick. There'll be more signage than is here. There's going to be the sign like you see in that picture about, and it meets their sign ordinance, but it's going to have a very, very different look. So he's so passionate about being here and being in this site that he went to corporate and said, I've got to build this building. And of course, that is an attractive building regardless, right, with all brick. And the size of it and how it fits on the site, and you have nothing to the left of it as you're facing it going north, where it borders up next to the county. And they do oil. So they are different. They're very different than everything else. I know they duplicate a service, but I think this site and what they've tried to do to make it as attractive as it can be, providing a unique service, and then completing possibly the redevelopment of this site, which I don't care, you can call it anything you want, but it's an albatross. And it gets worse looking. My dad was an architect. That building was never attractive to me, but it was because of his influence. I'm sure it was beautiful to other people. But it just keeps getting worse, right, the older it gets. And here's an opportunity to complete the cycle. Is it a perfect completion? Probably not if you look at the ordinance, but does it make 138 improve? Yeah, because all the landscape requirements are going to be tied to the site. All the fencing is going to be tied to the site. All the landscaping is going to be tied to the site. The entranceways are going to be different. It ties into others, just like he described. From the back side of this property, you can go past the Chick-fil-A. I wonder what they'll think about the chicken place, and go on to where the Bank of Congress was. So there's a lot of accessibility here and a lot of in and outs here. It's just not dedicated to what they show on the plat. It just represents a positive shot to move forward with a site that's pretty much a blighted site. And I say we move across, we do this one and we move across the street, and let's take out the old Kmart and do something, right? But I know that's a big ask. Got to find something with that one. But
Where is corporate?
They are located in Charlotte now. The parent company is Driven Brands, so they have like Meineke, Mako, CarStar, lots of automotive brands, and then their parent company is Roar Capital, based out of Atlanta, that has lots and lots of franchises. So it's a it's a great franchise, a fast-growing franchise, but part of a much larger and really awesome franchise network.
The curiosity, what would a typical oil change cost?
So they start at right around $50. The thing about our facility, since we only do oil changes, we try to cater to as many people as possible. So we've got all kinds of high mileage oils, full synthetic oils, European oils. So they start at $50, but say you drive a really nice European that takes the super special oil and it takes 8 quarts, hey, that might be as much as $150 to $180.
You say 50?
Yes, sir.
What happened to the $13 oil change? Where have I been?
Yeah.
not driving.
It's
They didn't
crazy,
replace your
though.
filter.
Well, it is a little
Not
bit.
anymore, huh?
So when we started this, we opened our first shop right before the recession, actually of COVID, February 2020. It was a crazy time to do it, but our cheapest oil change at that point was $24.99, and that's how much the price of oil has risen since then.
Don't you watch the news? They said inflation was better right now.
I guess maybe recently, but yeah.
It's one of your shops in your territory, the one on Wesley Chapel.
Yes.
Yeah, I go by there quite a bit, and I just hope that I'm gonna see something a little bit more appeasing to the eye.
Yeah.
As far as upkeep and the maintenance of this Take 5.
So Wesley Chapel was an interesting one for us. It used to be a Jiffy Lube, and then it turned into like a barbecue restaurant.
Yeah, eatery. Yeah.
And so the only way that we could go in there because of their overlay was that we use the existing building as is. We can't expand. We can't do anything
Okay.
else with it.
It's busy, but it's just not the same what I see here.
No, I would have loved to have started over and put a regular prototype there, but it was either retrofit what was there or don't do it, and we wanted to be there. It's a good site.
Fine.
So
Okay, and so all of yours, no, you have no franchise. All of them are corporate owned, correct? Is that a correct statement? Or you do have franchise?
no, there are some corporate Take 5 stores. We're a franchisee.
Okay.
So all of our stores are just ours and franchisee or franchise owned. There are some corporate Take 5 stores, and there are some around the Atlanta area.
Okay.
So depending on which one you go to, franchise may be corporate.
You're giving up the southbound 138 still traffic, I guess, going strictly for the northbound, because there's no way to get into you.
Right. It would be difficult for sure. I mean, a U-turn and all that, it would be tough. So.
I mean, I like the way you've kind of put a lot of thought into the elevations and structure, but my concern is still it's the Gateway Village Urban District, and for the short term, I definitely understand the purpose of developing the site. It's vacant, and of course that's not good. However, I think from a long range standpoint, the purpose is to create those walkable communities, and if we don't start somewhere, we're going to end up having the largest Brownsfield site. We have 9-10 different oil change, car service, and in the next 50 years, that's all that's there. Once we develop it that way, we can't develop it any other way. And I think that's the concern, and that's why the curiosity was, out of all of those particular plats or parcels that were there, why choose the one with the frontage? It seems like it would have been more conducive in this particular district maybe at the rear, and allow some of the more commercial businesses along that front. Seems like that would have been more amicable with the district. And so that's just my take on that.
Yeah.
Great building, but it's just that this particular district is the concern.
I definitely understand your concern. I think, something so every parcel on this property would have like frontage to the road. Is that what you were referring to?
No, just the fact that we have so many in the particular
gotcha.
area.
Gotcha.
Not you specifically, just this particular area has so many car service, auto repair, oil change. How could we ever actually develop the Gateway Village Urban District if we don't start kind of catering to that particular zone instead of the special use permit of this sort of nature?
Yeah. What's interesting is by right on the site, they can have, is it Raging Chicken?
Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's, sorry. By right, they can have Raising Cane's. By right, they can have a small drive-through bank unit. By right, subject to a special use permit, you can have this. I would say to you that each one of those uses in and of themselves that you can have by right does not necessarily address the walkability along 138. And with the depth of this lot is a prisoner of its own configuration and where it's located, because there's nothing to the rear of it they can do. So there's no property to the rear that they can expand to create which would be a preferred use, which would be along the front, maybe a little deeper away from 138, have more grass between the pedestrian and 138. That'd be nice. But if it could develop that way, it could happen.
You talking about because of the pipeline?
No, yeah, the easement and what's back. You can't do it. So it's a prisoner of where it is. It worked wonderful for Truist because it tapered right down for their drive-through, and they built their building. They even put their support building to the rear, and it functioned for decades. But now, because of the configuration of the site, the owner's got a tough challenge in how to maximize use or financially be able to make the use. So if it gets developed with the chicken place and the bank, it's not going to further. And I'm 100% with you on what you're saying as far as what would be perfect, right? But it's just not, this site is not the site to make the stand on from a practicality standpoint, because two uses by right can do something exactly similar to this, except this is duplicating multiple oil change places, even though it's very unique and different, and their building is better looking than any other oil change place we've got. But what's interesting is the bank going in there is going to multiply how many bank opportunities that we have in 138. The chicken place is going to duplicate how many more chicken places we have in 138. And heck, one's right next door. I forget the name of it. So it's an effort. Sometimes you got to take a small step to get to another step. And I again agree with you that once this is built, it's quite an investment. What's y'all's investment in one of these? I read it somewhere, $1.5 million.
It can be that much, and the brick is considerably more, but.
So it is a significant investment, which means they want to make a significant run here. But I would suggest to you this is better than what's there now, and I would suggest to you that the three together are going to be equally walkable under the design of what they're trying to achieve with their ordinance. This just happens to be not the best site for the poster child of that because of the configuration, the gas line, and 138. But I hear what you're saying.
Nice summation, Council. All right. Any other questions, concerns? All right.
As always, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. See?
Do you have any other questions for me? I don't know. Okay. Well.
Does anybody have any questions for the city?
No, sir.
When are we gonna get a Krispy Kreme donut shop?
A Whole Foods.
If we get a Krispy Kreme there, I expect to see all of you guys walking to Krispy Kreme to get the donuts.
I don't need it.
All right. Pardon me? Well, I was getting ready to ask if we had anybody that wanted to complain or applaud this application.
I don't.
Since Chris left, somebody had to.
Yes.
I don't think we have anyone here.
No. Do we have anybody here to speak for or against?
No, we
Thank you.
don't.
I'm good with this. Keep me honest. Keep me honest. All right. Since there's nobody to speak for or against, I will ask if there's any further discussion amongst us. Anything to be said?
I just wish we, since no one is courting us, I wish we as a city could go court others for a diversity of business.
Yeah.
Here, here.
It's totally nothing wrong. I wish I could take up his take 5 and take away 5 other existing hasn't come up to par as a suitable business. But I just wish we had some diversity somewhere to. Besides oil, we even got down past Home Depot. car, where you can change your oil to. You got your car dealerships. You got all down Sigmund Road. You got car dealerships. It's just I think more of Rockdale County
Yeah.
than that.
And plenty old gas stations.
Yeah.
I just wish we had someone coming to little small Rockdale and coming and giving us some diversity. Why can't we have a Whole Foods, Costco?
Well, I keep hearing people say the reason we don't is because we don't have people will make enough money to bring those kind of things in. Sometimes it's, the cart before the horse or the horse before the cart.
Because they're not going to come here.
Yeah, I
Those
know.
people make that money. It's not going to come here with
I agree with you.
with 10 oil changes, similar places, and a mile and a quarter. I think just we can't appeal to that income level with what we got in Rockdale. But that's just a conversation between us.
I
I mean,
agree
on
with
the
you.
board. That's what I'm just
I agree with you. I think we've got a lot more planning to do and understanding to do amongst us to make us a better county.
I agree.
Anyway, okay. That being said, no further discussion. I'll entertain a motion on case number 8, parentheses 2024 impairing, ordinance 1368.
I'd like to make a motion. That motion is to deny the request for a special use permit to establish an automotive repair and maintenance facility in the Gateway Village urban sub-area zoning district.
I have a motion to deny case 8, 2024. Do I hear a second to that denial? Okay.
A second.
You have a second for the denial. All those in favor of denial, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those not in favor of
I
denial?
feel sorry for the guy.
I mean,
I don't know how this vote goes.
I understand what you're saying about the building where it's located. I can.
I just,
some of
he
that
put the best
resonating.
in it. I just don't
Messed up
know.
my first vote. All right.
I wasn't sure if I'm allowed to say something.
No.
I just, it's. Can I
We
say you just?
We have 3 at this point in favor of denial and 2 that have not voted.
I got mixed emotions about this.
I do too. I mean,
I understand the mixed emotions, but I'm waiting for a
Oh,
vote.
that's not doing any good, is it?
because if it's not him, it's something else.
Yeah.
That may not be appeasing. I mean, I got that argument too.
And I feel for him too. He's done a really good job to try and make it fit as best he could.
Yeah. So I'm like,
And you are a recommendation.
yes, recommendation. We're told that every time when they go in and do something else that we don't.
You gotta go the way you gotta go. I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's going in the rear building?
We have a motion on the
Oh, I'm
floor.
sorry. I thought that might help.
It's up to you. I have 2 motions, 2 votes that are outstanding. I've got 3 in favor of denial of case 8, 2024, and 2 votes outstanding. What say you? Okay. Just at this point, with 3 in denial, recommending denial, that is,
I recommend denial too because it's not where Rockdale need to go right now. So I recommend denial as
Okay.
well.
that is 4 not in favor of approving case 8, 2024. Item,
Yeah, denial also. Denial.
we are unanimous in denial of item 8, 2024, for the request for a special use permit to establish automotive repair and maintenance minor facility in the Gateway Village, Urban Village, sub-area GVUV zoning district. Denial.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Recommendation. Anybody want Shaquille O'Neal's address? He's the one that owns Krispy Kreme franchise.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
I want Costco's and
Yeah,
we need.
Okay.
we need a number. We need a number. Yeah, we do need. I hear that a lot. Something to mix it up.
Well, agenda, here we go. To City of Conyers reports this evening, we have none. Rockdale County has none. The next meeting, scheduled meeting for the Planning Commission will be July 11th, Thursday at 6 p.m. in this room. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Don't everybody speak at once.
I move to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Yep,
I second.
All those in favor? Aye. Motion approved. We are adjourned.